Let's learn about chapter number 14, Water. This chapter is taken from class 6 science. Before we begin with the chapter, let us perform this activity. We are going to tick mark the activities that shows conservation of water. In the first picture, we have the boy is taking bath, but he is using shower. So there is lot of wastage of water. So we will put a cross mark for the picture 1. In the picture 2, this boy is brushing his teeth and the tap is off. So he is saving the water over here. So let us put tick mark because this activity shows the conservation of water. In the picture 3, man is washing his car using bucket. So again he is conserving or saving water. So let us learn more about water conservation in our today's chapter. We know that 70% of our earth is made up of water. But all this water is in the usable form. Can we drink that water? Let us try to understand it. We know that our earth is known as the blue planet because, as I have already told you, 70% of it is covered with water. But out of this 70%, all this water is not in the usable form because 97% of the water on the earth is salty water, which is present in form of oceans and seas. So human being cannot drink this water. The remaining 2% of the water on the earth is trapped in form of glaciers or ice at the polar region, that is at the North Pole and South Pole. So we have the polar region located over here. So this polar region, most of the water present on the earth is in form of ice caps. Remaining 1% of the water on the earth is usable by human being. So we are left with just 1% of the water out of the 70% of the water which is available on the earth, and this water is not only used for drinking purpose but also has got many other applications like in industry, transportation, in the pharmaceutical companies and many more. So this figures shows the total availability of water on the earth or how the water is distributed on the earth. So as I have already told you, out of the 70% of the surface which is made up of water, 97% of it is in the form of salty water, that is in the form of ocean and sea, and the remaining 3% is of fresh water. Out of this 3% of water which is fresh water, 2% of it is in the form of ice and glaciers. So again we cannot use it. So we are left with just 1%, and out of this 1%, 30% is groundwater and around 70% of it is surface water. So out of this surface water, most of the freshwater sources is lakes and rivers, and remainings are in form of swamps. So let us understand what are the different uses of water. We use water not only for drinking purpose, but as shown in this figure, we use it for washing clothes. In the second picture, for cooking purpose. The third picture shows for cleaning ourselves or for bathing purpose. To drink and to brush our teeth. So these are the few uses or application of water. Let us understand from where do we get this fresh water. So, or what are the sources of water? What do you mean by a source? It's a place from which we get water. So let us list down sources of fresh water. A water which do not contain salt is termed as fresh water. Major sources of fresh water on the earth: wells, we have rain, which is a very important source of water, tap, a pump, water pump, rivers, groundwater, some of the pictures which I have not shown, lakes, and many more. Water comes from these many sources. So we have ocean and sea, which is a salty water source. Whereas rain and snow is a fresh water source, the water which is used for drinking purpose and other purpose. We have rivers and springs, we have underground water or groundwater, and lakes and ponds. So some of the pictures there, this is a picture of a river, stream, reservoirs are nothing but dams and bandaras, rainwater, ponds, hand pump and wells. These are sources of fresh water. Now let us understand what is the form of water. Water is available to us in all three states. What do you mean by all three states of matter? That is, it is available in the form of solid form, liquid form, and the gaseous form. For example, the ice is a solid form of water, whereas most of the water that we see is in the liquid form. Some water which we cannot see but is available or is present on the environment is in the form of gas or water vapor. So water exists in all three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas state. What is water cycle? Water cycle is circulation of water between earth and atmosphere. So the water cycle is very important to maintain weather pattern on earth and also to maintain the water balance on the earth. So what is water cycle? Water cycle is circulation of the water between earth and atmosphere. So this water cycle has got various stages or steps. In this picture you can see the water cycle. So let us understand step by step what do you mean by the term water cycle. So what happens? Now, whatever water sources we have on the earth, because of the sun's rays or heat, water from these sources get heated up. And because of this heat, it get converted into a gas state, that is a vapor state. And this process is called evaporation. So what is evaporation? Conversion of water into from liquid state to gas state. And who is helping in the process of evaporation? Sun or heat energy help us in doing that. So as I have told you, because of the sun's heating, the surface water gets converted into water vapor or the gas form. So all this gas form of water goes up and forms clouds. Also, transpiration help in this process of water to convert from water liquid state, that is liquid state, to gas state, that is water vapor. So the water goes into a gas form by two ways. One, by evaporation process, and second, by transpiration process. What do you mean by transpiration? What is transpiration? Transpiration is loss of water from leaves of plant in form of water vapor. So leaves gives out water into the atmosphere in form of water vapor. So how does the leaves of plant help in transpiration? On the inner surface or the underside of the leaf, there are tiny holes. And these tiny holes are called stomata. Stomatas are nothing but tiny pores. These tiny pores help in exchange of gases. So the water is lost into the atmosphere in form of water vapor by the leaf, and the process of transpiration help in indirect converting water into a gaseous form. So now, as I have already told you, what is water evaporation? Conversion of water into vapor form on heating is termed as evaporation. Now once all this water vapor goes up, it forms cloud. So what is cloud? Clouds are nothing but tiny droplets are collected to form cloud. So all this water vapor goes up and they form the clouds. We have the next step, condensation. What is condensation? Conversion of water vapor into water on cooling. So when this water vapors goes up in form of clouds, once they reach a particular height, the temperature is less, so it is very cool, or the temperature is cold over there. So what happened? So the water immediately start converting from vapor form, that is from gas form, into liquid form. And this process of conversion of water vapor from vapor form into liquid form is termed as condensation. Because of condensation, tiny droplets of water come down and we call it as rain. So the falling of water droplet is called as precipitation. Now if this precipitation occur at mountainous region where the temperature is cold, then these tiny droplets of water get converted into water to a solid form, and that is ice form. And therefore in those regions we have the ice or the snowfall. So if the direct water falls down onto the earth, we call it as rainfall. And if the same water falls onto mountainous region where the temperature is cold, we call it as a snowfall. So both snowfall and rainfall are forms of precipitation. So what is precipitation? Precipitation is falling down of water drops on the earth. So when the cloud cannot hold these water anymore, they burst and they come down in form of water droplet onto the earth's surface, either in form of rain, snow, sleet or hail, and all this form is termed as precipitation. So as I have told you, if precipitation is occurring on mountain where the temperature is very cool, then what happens? The water falls down in form of snow and we call it as snowfall. Now, once the water comes down, once the precipitation happens, now the water is seeped into the ground. What's the meaning of seep? Absorbed into the ground. And this process is called percolation. So what is percolation? Seeping of water into the ground, that is absorption of water by the soil, is termed as percolation. So when water come back to the earth's surface, the sipping of water happens on the ground, and that is termed as percolation. And that's how the water reach back onto the earth's surface. So the movement of water in this way is termed as water cycle. So water goes up in form of water vapor because of heat of the sun. So water is get heated up. So we have the first step of evaporation. So evaporation occur when the water is heated up because of the sun's heat energy. It get converted into gas form. So this gas form or water vapor goes up, they form the clouds. So afterward what happens, once this cloud reaches a particular height where the temperature is very cool, the water comes down in form of rain and we call it as precipitation. So what happened, first step we have evaporation, that is conversion of water from the water phase into the gas phase is termed as evaporation. Once the water goes up, it forms the cloud. Once the cloud reach a cool place, that is at a particular, as the clouds are going up, the temperature start decreasing, so it's very cool over there. So the water get converted from the water vapor state into a liquid state, and this process is called condensations. So as soon as the condensation occur, tiny droplets of water start coming in downward direction, and this falling of water onto the earth surface is termed as precipitation. If this water comes down to the earth's surface in form of water or rain, then we call it as rainfall. And if the same water falls on the mountainous region where the temperature is low, and then it fall as a snow, and we call it as snowfall. So the cyclical movement of water between the atmosphere and earth's surface is called as water cycle. And water cycle has got various stages. We have first stage evaporation, we have the next stage condensation, we have the third stage precipitation, we have the fourth stage percolation. So with that, I think we have understood what is water cycle. Now let us understand some natural calamities that occur due to water. So if there is excess of rainfall in a particular place, then such situation we call it as flood. So what is flood? Prolonged period of heavy rain in a particular area result in the condition called flood. But if a particular region do not receive rainfall for a very long period, then the condition over there is called drought. So we have two extreme conditions. If excess of water falls onto the earth is also not good for us because it causes flood, whereas very little of water or no rainfall is also not good because it results in a condition called drought. Therefore, there is a need to conserve water. What do you mean by water conservation? To save water. Various steps are there to conserve water. What we have here, I have listed few steps wherein we can conserve water. What we can do? We can use less water for the daily activities such as cleaning, washing, bathing and other household activities. So we here, by adopting some method, we can reduce domestic use of water. Now, so industrial waste and sewage, before dumping it directly into the water bodies, we can treat them out and thereby reduce water pollution. We should check leaking pipes and taps at home. This will help in conserving water. Recycle water for other purpose. We can recycle the water. Treated water can be used for gardening purpose. For example, water collected at washing vegetable or rice can be used for watering plant. Encourage water harvesting practices such as rainwater harvesting. I will be doing what is rainwater harvesting, but if we I will explain what is rainwater harvesting. So if we adopt such method, we can conserve water. So reduce wastage of water for agricultural purpose. So what we can do by using some efficient methods like drip irrigation system, sprinkler system, we can reduce agricultural water wastage. We can reduce water pollution by treating the wastewater or by installing wastewater treatment plant, and so that we can reuse the water. Recycle the waters by industries and garden, that is the water polluted water can be treated and then can be used for the gardening purpose or in the toilets. So reduce the wastage of water for domestic purpose, that I have already told you. So we can adopt such method. Instead of taking shower, we can use bucket. Instead of washing clothes in washing machine, we can adopt hand washing methods, so that we will conserve water. A small little step will help in water conservation. What is water harvesting? As I have told you in the previous slide, rainwater harvesting is a process of collecting rainwater for using for later use. So what is rainwater harvesting? Rainwater harvesting is a process of collecting rainwater for later use. So there are various types or methods of rainwater harvesting. So what are the benefits of rainwater harvesting? Rainwater harvesting restores surface water and it helps to maintain the water level. It helps to recharge groundwater level. That means it helps to increase the groundwater level. It maintains the level of water table. So by increasing the groundwater level, the groundwater table can be maintained. It also reduces soil erosion. So what is soil erosion? Removal of top layer of the soil due to rain can be avoided if we use rainwater harvesting method. The collected rainwater can later be used for domestic purpose like washing clothes, cleaning dishes, and watering plants. Also in the toilet and washrooms. So this picture talks about rooftop rainwater harvesting. So what is rooftop rainwater harvesting? All the water which falls onto the roof of the house is collected with the help of the pipe. It's got into a tank where the water is stored. So rooftop rainwater harvesting is a system of collecting rainwater from the roof of the houses or building. It is either stored in a tank and it is allowed to seep into the soil to recharge the groundwater. The water may contain some impurities and therefore it need to be treated before using it. So there are various methods of doing this. So and it is a very cost effective methods of conserving water. So everybody can install it at home and can start conserving rainwater. There is another method, that is surface rainwater harvesting. In this method, the rainwater which is flowing on the surface, that is roads and drain, is collected and used to recharge and refill the deep pits. So this water seep into the ground slowly and replenish the water table. So because in this method the surface water of the earth is recharged, therefore this method is called surface rainwater harvesting. So what have we learned in this lesson? Let's conclude the lesson. We have learned about water cycle. What is water cycle? Circulation of water between earth and atmosphere is termed as water cycle. We have understood the various steps of water cycle, that is evaporation, condensation, percolation, precipitation. We have also understood the different sources of groundwater, saline water. We have also understood the climatic condition which is caused due to excessive rain and very little rain, it is drought and flood. Okay, with that we have finished with water. Thank you.